Alright, so I finished the base game of Elden Ring a while ago and came back to see what the DLC was all about. Overall, very enjoyable experience. I would definitely play it again. However, it was time to actually finish the DLC, and to do that I had to beat Radahn, promised consort of Miquella. Let's set the stage here. First of all, I am not particularly good at Elden Ring, or really Souls-like games in general. You're listening to the guy who struggles with Bayonetta 1 on easy difficulty, and rage quit Yakuza 4 before making it halfway through the game. Secondly, I placed a massive handicap on myself without being fully aware of it, by entering the DLC at New Game Plus 7. In most games, New Game Pluses mean you get to keep a majority of your items, gear, stats, etc. for a new playthrough. The same applies to Elden Ring, but for every New Game Plus save you make, the game becomes harder. This difficulty mostly includes larger health pools, increased resistances, and the bosses just do a fuck ton of damage. Finally, I was sick. I don't know what I was sick with, but whatever it was really didn't help against Radahn. Combine that with my lack of brain power and the other points I mentioned, I was definitely in for a rough time. Given my less than favorable circumstances, I decided to give myself any advantage I could find to stand a chance against Radahn. And the first step to that would be finding the rest of the Skidoo tree fragments. The DLC uses a secure style leveling system where you have to collect certain items to increase your damage negation and attack power. This was implemented to stop people like me from crushing anything that dared stand in my way at level 200 plus. By the time I got to the final boss, I was hovering at a Skidoo tree blessing of around 12, which meant that I still had a ways to go before fighting Radahn for real. After an hour or two of me just scrounging around the map for fragments, I maxed out my Skidoo tree blessing to 20 and it was time to focus on my build. Now, I do have to admit something. I did watch some gameplay of this boss from my good friend Enrique. You know, the guy who falls off the map and pins diva bombs into his own teammates.
Hey, bro.
And whatever that is. Anyhow, the point is, I wasn't going in completely blind, and after watching him getting his ass whooped for an hour, I knew that the greatsword build I was trying out just wasn't going to cut it. It was seemingly too slow, and the damage output wasn't worth trading hits over, even while power stancing. I needed the lowest amount of recovery time after swinging, while still keeping a reasonable amount of power. So, I turned my attention to power stancing katanas. For my right armament, I'd be running the Naga Kiba, the longest katana in the game, with a blood ash of war. For my left armaments, the Hand of Malenia, a katana rewarded for defeating Malenia, and a finger seal for buffing myself with incantations. Originally, I wanted to run a double Naga Kiba to give myself the consistent long reach, but I'm pretty sure I locked myself out of getting a second one. Also, I should probably mention that both of these weapons will inflict bleed, a status effect that builds up with each hit, eventually causing the enemy to lose a percentage of their health for that particular swing. My armor wasn't given much thought really. If anything, I cared more about how I looked since lighter armors matter less the further on your New Game Pluses go, unless running very specific builds with a blue Dancer charm. In the end, I settled for a Clean Rot Knight helmet, Lita's chest piece, Malenia's gauntlet, and Clean Rot Knight greaves. I was playing Elden Ring, and it was hella fun. However, Lita's chest piece did come with a very useful passive where my attacks would be slightly stronger after backstepping or rolling. Some other minor pieces include my talismans, which were a two-headed turtle talisman for increased stamina recovery speed, a Crimson Seed talisman +1 for improving my health restoration from flasks, a Dragon Crest Great Shield talisman for increased damage negation which hasn't come off since New Game Plus 5, and a Golden Braid talisman for increased holy damage negation since I knew Radahn had some holy based attacks. The finger seal was just there for using Golden Vow to increase my attack power and damage negation. My physic contained a stamina increase and guess what? More damage negation. Not that I think it even mattered, since I'm pretty sure there's a limit to these buffs. Finally, I was giving myself around 30 hours or so before I resorted to strategies from the internet, which mainly involves super heavy armor and shields, alongside a mimic tier.
So I should come up in front of him? Can I punish this? Not really. That was stupid of me.
I want to make it clear as well that I'm not judging anyone that does use these builds. You can play the game however you want with the resources that the game gives you. This is just how I wanted to have fun. If you can even call banging your head against a brick wall for hours fun. Also, it was my intention to upload this before everyone started doing their crazy runs of this fight, but I got to Radahn pretty late. Not to mention the further delay for me being sick and having to narrate again once my voice wasn't so screwed. And that's kind of it for all the preparations. We have the Skidoo tree blessings maxed out, a pretty solid build alongside some pretty neat buffs. All that's left now is to go fight Radahn, and honestly, after Malenia, I don't see how he could possibly be sick. Holy. Hey there, big man. Oh wait, can I tank that? Whoa, 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 whoa. Chill! What the hell am I looking at?
Jesus.
What the fuck did I just witness? Yeah, if it wasn't apparent enough, I was going to struggle on this boss. This boss was going to be the end of me, and I was probably going to regret it. Oh well. I've got literally nothing better to do. Let's just jump right in.
We should go after strong monsters! Oh yes, massive and brutal!
Okay, this is the different one. I don't know that well. Okay, that was pretty good. That was actually a good attempt. If I managed to run away a bit quicker, I could have went to a second phase with 13 Estus. Consistency.
Yeah, I think it's based on range. Or
my
how
gosh.
Radahn's feeling. Have you ever thought about that? What if Radahn is feeling bad one day, you know?
Sorry,
What
what?
if he's just like, what if he's just
Feeling-
feeling sad one day?
Feeling bad? Yeah, true. I deserve that.
Yeah. Yeah. What if he's feeling sad?
Damn it, I got killed by the grab. Okay, that concludes the first day of fighting Radahn for about 4 to 5 hours. Man, it was a struggle, but definitely not outside my capabilities. I noticed two things from these attempts. The first being that Radahn is deceptively quick to attack. If you are just rushing hits against him, he will punish you hard for it. 95% of the time, if you hit him and you rush it, you will not have enough time to roll or drink a flask before he interrupts you, and he'll probably kill you off of it. Another detail that might not be like super obvious compared to the first is that Radahn punishes rolling backwards specifically. That's not to say that he wouldn't punish your side rolls, just that he'll catch your back steps way easier and you will die. Now in terms of my own progress to finishing this fight, I wasn't close at all. If I was lucky, I'd get him down to second phase, which happens at around 70% of his health bar, but that was about 1 in every 9 fights. Even if I did make it to second phase, I would almost never get a hit in and just died 10 seconds after. I think the biggest problem I was facing during the session was actually learning all of his moves. The only combo I could dodge with absolute certainty was this 5-hit combo. It was probably the easiest one to avoid as long as you don't roll away from him, and it gave me the most opportunities to attack. I was getting hit by everything else though. If I dodged anything that wasn't his 5-hit combo, it was usually due to luck or pure reaction. Alright, and with that out of the way, let's continue on to session 2.
Oh my god. It even has a watermark.
Alright, so really cool story. I don't know if you can hear it, but I am sick right now, so I'm sure that'll help me so much in this final battle. I'm also on like 4 hours of sleep, so you know, I'm having a great time right now. Okay, no more Johnning. I'm gonna go in and yeah, I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna kill him. I hope. But I seriously doubt it.
Two hours later.
Alright, hello again, and welcome back to post-commentary launch. I wanted to commentate over this fight since I was too busy focusing on the boss to ever talk while playing, and I wanted to break this down as simply as I could through all this chaos. Now you might be able to tell that I have gotten better at dodging Radahn's attacks. I wasn't perfect at it, but I was making sure to not get hit by any of his stronger moves. You can probably see as well that I'm not trying to put a crap ton of distance between myself and Radahn, because he does have methods of shutting you down at range. I'm just staying far away enough to give myself time to react and punish accordingly without having to worry too much about his pool catching me in. Now, he can mix you up with a suck at closer ranges. It's very rare, but still possible. However, if you keep a similar distance to what I'm doing, then you shouldn't have a problem reacting to it. Overall, first phase Radahn is actually pretty simple once you stop and look at him properly. I think a big part of what makes it so easy is to just keep looking at him. Well, like, no shit, you're supposed to look at him, but what I mean is don't even bother looking at your character. In Smash Bros, a better player doesn't need to look at his character while playing because he is comfortable with their movements and timings. I mean, he can spend more time like watching his opponent's options, moves, and habits without worrying about where he is on the screen, even if he gets hit. Same concept applies here. If I get hit by Radahn, I won't take more damage from his combo because I'm already looking to see what attack he's doing next, which I wouldn't know from looking at my character constantly. For his second phase, Mikola joins the battle, and honestly, he isn't as dangerous as you might think. Mikola gives Radahn like 2 or 3 nukes, and mainly extra range on his regular hits. This means that rolling backwards is completely out of the question, as a lot of Mikola's hitboxes are specifically designed to catch your rollbacks. For his second phase, I close the distance more than his first. I want to be in his face, and I don't want to trigger his AI to do the harder attacks to dodge. Once you close the gap, Mikola really is just an afterthought for most of Radahn's moves. Even his area of effect hits have pretty simple timings. However, I do have the Golden Braid Talisman reducing holy damage, which surely helped out a lot, so do keep that in mind. Now onto Radahn himself. He keeps his moveset from the first phase, along with a couple extra new ones, which depending on your luck and ability to close the distance, don't show up super regularly. I'd say the most difficult thing for me in phase 2 specifically were the dash attacks and the meteor. I wasn't able to completely dodge his dash attacks in this run specifically, but I do know that it's 100% possible either through rolling or creating enough distance when he decides to use it. For one, you can roll a run to the left, and the other variation, you dodge a run to the right. Since this was the phase I had the least experience with, I was getting hit by more things than I would have liked. Just silly rolls here and there sprinkled in with some questionable decision making. You can see I had 13 flasks for the beginning of the second phase, and I'm already down to 7. Even less if I didn't have the Crimson Seed Talisman, and that's the thing I was going to replace it with something else as well. Thank God I didn't. At this point of the fight, it really does come down to knowledge of the boss. I'm usually reacting fine to his attacks because I've just seen it so many times. Some panic here and there of course, but for the most part I'm just dancing around waiting to strike him in between his combos. Again, Mikola's light isn't a huge issue by any means, just keep rolling into him instead of away from him. Oh yeah, this meteor attack baited me so hard. I looked behind me because that is just where he spawned in my previous runs, but this time he came crashing down from the other direction. It has 2 hitboxes, both of which you can dodge, not like my Damas managed to do it. So Radahn really does throw out a lot of moves from his first phase, except that dash attack of course, because you know he has to prove my point wrong. But it goes to show that this boss isn't a whole lot different between both phases. I'm reacting and punishing whenever it's possible. I'm really glad he didn't do the suck move more though. I have like 0 idea on how to dodge the entire string if he does get me with the initial hit. So down to 3 flasks and he's going for the nuke again. My only advice for this nuke is to run away as soon as possible. You have about 1 second to start running. After that you just have to roll through both hits somehow. And that's about it for this commentary. If I had to give any advice for this fight, it's just to learn to keep your eyes on Radahn as much as possible and to roll into him for the most part. Anyways, this is done because I just won. Oh. Let's go. Oh. Jesus Christ. Oh man. So yeah, that's it. That's the entire boss fight. Overall, not my favorite one in the game. Doesn't come close to the satisfaction I had beating Malenia or Radagon, but still enjoyable. I might come back to Radahn with a different build in the future, maybe try out double great swords and hope for the best. I don't know how many attempts it took me since I didn't clip every single one, but I did check my video files to see when I started and finished. So, I started banging my head against the wall on the 18th of July and broke through that wall on the 21st of July. I'm glad I beat him in the end, and I can finally say that I don't have to do something stupid like this ever again. Oh boy, it's like 5 in the morning and I'm just scrolling through this amazing Steam library. Wait, no. Don't you dare. No. No, go back. No, we're not installing this. If we install this, we are guaranteed losing like 200 hours of our life. Don't do it, young man. I swear to God. No. Please. No. 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 No.